Thanks to the support as a channel member, Harvey2478. As you'll know, boys and girls, I have an official policy of not caring about the Carabao Cup. However, we've drawn Spurs away, and the chance to beat them while we're in the form that we're in is too good to turn down in front of a camera. Plus, it is deadline day as well, so I'm going to be sat there on the touchline, phone in hand, trying to get some last-minute deals over the finish line. Hello and welcome to Club 2, Part 9 of Non-Lethal Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have that game against Spurs in the Carabao Cup. We also face Rotherham in League One. And as you can see, League One is going really rather well. We find ourselves top of the league, 5 wins from 5. In fact, it's not just League One that's going well. The reason we're playing Spurs is because we beat our local-ish, rivals-ish Derby away from home in the Carabao Cup. That's a Derby team who are mid-table in the league above. We beat them 1-0 away from home. We've won every other game we've played in every other competition as well. We've only conceded 1 league goal in our first 5 games. We are quite good, it seems. I'm less worried about the transfers we did over the summer. Now I've seen that we are actually quite good. Mark Leonard, I think we sold in the last episode. We still haven't reinvested that money yet. We have brought in Oliver Bainbridge on loan as a backup left back because the previous backup left back we brought in, Harry Barbrook, was already recalled to Ipswich before he'd had the opportunity to play a game because he'd been here a month and hadn't played a game, so they've recalled him. We are trying to do some deadline day deals though. As you can see, Paul Smith is hopefully on his way out. He's not wanted to be here ever since I've arrived. He's injury prone and hopefully he's going to be gone. And we are trying to bring in Lewis Brown, my captain from Tamworth. I realised he's only 20 years old. If we bring him in, his salary doesn't count towards our salary cap. The same applies for Adam Berry. We tried to bring Adam Berry in as well. He's not interested in coming because he's only just signed a new contract at Tamworth, but Lewis Brown hasn't. And he can also play left back as well, which of course is a position that we need some strength and depth in as well. So Lewis Brown, hopefully, going to be coming in and joining us. It does show the difference in quality between the squads we've got here at Burton and what we had at Tamworth. Because star rating wise, he's apparently not quite as good as Nigel Lonwick, who doesn't ever get a start in our team. So it'll be interesting to see whether I actually use Brown or not, but he is only 20. He's still got bags of potential. He's got the opportunity to get better, will become a championship quality player eventually. And the fact that he can play left back means he's got a very good chance of being in the team in that Cullinane Lieberd inverted fullback left back role, to just basically make a back three and let Long or Furlong charge on and join up with the attack. So there's potential to use him. We've got 3 more hours to get him over the finish line. We do obviously still have all of this money to spend, but FFP means we've only got £5,000 of spare wage budget to spend it with. And I'm actually now in a weird spot where I don't really know what we need, because Lewis Cherrett, the youngster, scored on his first game for me. He's come off the bench 3 times in his career, twice in the Premier League for Newcastle, once in League One for us. He's scored all 3 times. This guy is a goal scorer, so I don't think we need another striker in. We've still got Cole Stockton. We've not been able to ship him out. So I think having Cherrett as backup with Stockton knocking around the place is fine. I don't know why that's showing as the diamond. We're not using the diamond anymore. Attacking midfield, obviously we've got decent strength in depth. Out wide, we've got loads of quality on both wings now. These youngsters we brought in are all looking really, really good. I don't think we necessarily need anything. We've won 5 from 5. We're top of the league. You know, I think we're doing okay. So we might actually end up going in well under our FFP wage limit, which is not a situation I expected to be in when I was panicking in the last couple of episodes. But first up, we have Spurs. This is the team we are sending to Spurs. We have, I think Whiteman is a former Spurs youngster. Yeah, we've got Whiteman, former Spurs guy, Alfie Whiteman in goal. A back four of Samuels, who is just returning from his injury. Burke, Jackson and Long. Purcell and Powell in midfield. Stevanovic, Andrein and Biancheri supporting Stewart up front. I don't expect us to go and beat Spurs. I mean, it'd be nice. They've not had the best start to the season. They're down in the bottom half of the Premier Premier League, they've had a struggling start. They've got Lucas Perry in goal, who we signed for Brighton in the beta. He's a very good goalkeeper. That is a strange-looking Spurs team, actually. Some players in there. Bearing in mind, we're not that many years into the save. There's some very strange players that seem to have turned up at Tottenham. I guess they've rotated a little bit because it's the Carabao Cup and we're in League One and they're probably not particularly afraid of us. If this is anything close to a Spurs first team, then it's no wonder they're in the bottom half of the Premier League, because this is a weird old side. But there is an in-swinging corner, which we've just about dealt with, and it looked like we had a breakaway on there, but the highlight decided it wanted to cut off and not see us charge. We've had 93% possession in the first 8 minutes of this game. I don't believe that's correct, but my goodness, wouldn't that be a thing? We are controlling possession against Tottenham, which is insanity. There's only 26,000 people turned up. The attendance doesn't really matter in this competition anyway, because it doesn't have the same kind of revenue share as the FA Cup does. So we're not making big money from this. And let's face it, with the sponsorship deals that we've got in place, we don't even need to be making big money from stuff like this anyway, because we've already got far more money than we could possibly spend in League One. And obviously it's nice to stack some up for what's looking like a potential return to the Championship for Burton, at which point the way FFP works changes completely, and it's no longer a wage cap based on income. I think it's similar to the Premier League. You're allowed to make a certain amount of loss over a 3-year period. I think in the Championship it's a £15 million loss over 3 years. So bearing in mind we've been making huge profits, we could basically go up to the Championship and make a £15 million loss in our first season, then start breaking even again, which means we can definitely go up there and throw all of this money around as and when we make that promotion. Of course, long term we'd struggle because we only have a tiny little ground by Championship standards, not only a tiny little ground, but a ground that presumably, if and when we return to the Championship, has to become all-seater, because I think Burton have already had their 2 years in the Championship where you don't have to be all-seater. As a Peterborough fan, I'm aware this is something we've come up against, and the last time we got promoted we had to bolt seats to the terracing. So I think that's a thing, that we'd have to convert the stadium as well. We're 1-0 down. Aaron Wan-Bissaka charging forward for Spurs, just bursting into the penalty area, then he's hammered it towards Whiteman. It's presumably a Wan-Bissaka goal, it is. But Whiteman probably could have done a little bit better there. He's been beaten between his legs at the near post. I would expect a little bit more from him. Not the finest return to Spurs for him, although I guess, I don't know at what point in the past he left Spurs. Would he have experienced this stadium? Oh, that's another nightmare from Whiteman. Whiteman is having a game today. Apparently he's the highest rated player on our team. I guess he's made some saves off camera and we're just seeing him make the absolute howlers, because once again this looked like something he should have dealt with. It's driven across goal. Oh, that's poor. That is very poor goalkeeping. Yet he is still the best player in our team, which I guess says a lot about how the rest of the team are playing. Right, this time we do intercept from the corner and Stevanovic breaks free and we get to see what happens in the highlight. What happens is we run out of ideas really quite quickly, although that's the ball from from long forward to Biancheri, who, if he can find the cross here, Ross Stewart's in the middle, Andrin's there with him. The ball comes back into there. Stevanovic from range. What a goal from Filip Stevanovic. Goodness me, that's beautifully placed. He's done that a couple of times already this season. We have got a new goal-scoring wide man. He's a right footer who plays out on the left, and he hits this shot absolutely beautifully. Look at this first-time effort, just curls it up and around Perry in the Spurs goal, and that is us right back in this match. That was a good goal. It was a very good goal. I'm a little bit shocked by what I've just seen there. 2-1. We did start very brightly, actually, looking at that. Maybe we were dominating possession early on, and then Spurs just soaked it up and then hit us with a couple of goals to calm us down. But if we can score the next goal, this is very much game on. But I think have we given away a penalty there? No. Everything seemed to just stop. It is a corner for Spurs. I thought we'd given away a penalty for a second. It's a Spurs corner. As we approach half-time, Whiteman needs to make a save in a highlight. That would be a nice little bit of progress to make during the course of this match. It's another Spurs shot. This time it's high and wide again, and Spurs are, I mean, they've got an XG of 3.1. I guess that's why Whiteman's rating is still as high as it is. They've had plenty more chances than the 2 goals they've scored. So I imagine he has actually made quite a few saves. It's weird that we've not seen any of them actually happen. They've had 3 clear-cut chances, apparently. He's on a 7.3. So even with Stevanovic scoring that beauty of a goal and Whiteman giving away 2 goals, he's still the best player in our team. And there you go. He has made a save on camera now, pushing that free kick wide for a corner. And it's yet another Spurs corner. They're going to look to hit that in-swinger again from the far side. We have got a lot of big boys in the team. We should be able to deal with set pieces. But what we struggle with a little bit is the follow-up to them. But Whiteman, I think, has made another good save there. So he is now starting to step up and put in the performance that the rating that he'd been given suggested he was doing. And it's once again dealt with quite comfortably by our big boys aerially as the corner comes in. I'm going to offer a little bit of encouragement. Obviously, we don't expect a result out of the game against Spurs, but goodness me, wouldn't it be nice to get one? There's still only the 1 goal in it. What can we do? Ross Stewart has not turned up today. I'm going to bring on Lewis Cherrett. He might be about to lose his goal every time he set foot on a football pitch record here. It's a little bit harsh that he's going to lose it playing against Spurs. Although, to be fair, he did score 2 goals in the Premier League last season for Newcastle. So he might just come on and score again. Stranger things have happened. We're also bringing on the youngster Jack Clayton, and Raheem Harper's going to come on as well. We've got lovely strength in depth now. We're going to go attacking. We've got to at least try and get back into it, haven't we? It's going to be a free kick. Joe Powell, still our top scorer this season, from penalties and set pieces. Mainly, he's hit the crossbar. Long trying to get there to head it back across. We are teasing this Spurs goal. There might be an equaliser in our future here, which would be absolutely delicious if we can find it. Long got himself in trouble there, but Clayton has got the ball back and he's finding the cross. Cherrett is there in the middle, and I mean, I think we're all desperate for Cherrett to keep this record going for as long as possible. I think this is the first time you've seen him, isn't it? I don't think you saw him play in his previous match that he scored. He is very, very lively. He is the future when it comes to goal scoring for Burton Albion. Powell's not going to come off. We don't have a midfielder on the bench. We are going to bring on Furlong at left back. Furlong's been training to play left back. So he is another solution that we've got as a left back if we end up not bringing in Lewis Brown or an equivalent who can play there. But Furlong should be quite capable of playing there. We've got 2 very good right backs. They should both be able to play left back. I've always said it's a weird football manager thing that if you're a right winger, you should be natural at right midfield. If you're a right back, you should be able to play left back. It's the same position. There shouldn't be a major penalty for playing a right back at left back. We've not done too badly there. We've not embarrassed ourselves. We've lost by the 1 goal against a Premier League team. Cherrett doesn't have his record anymore, but fingers crossed we hold our heads high off the back of that and keep our winning run going in the league. There's 1 hour of deadline day left. The Lewis Brown deal didn't go through while I was hanging around at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Are we going to get a call on the bus on the way home? Is Lewis Brown going to make the half-hour trip up the road that I made previously? He is. Lewis Brown is going to be joining us, and Paul Smith is off to Dundee as well, on loan until the end of the season. They're paying 100% of his salary, so that's another 3K coming off of our limit for players FFP. I know what I'm trying to say. Lewis Brown, there you go. Lewis Brown is in. Only 1.1k a week, so relatively low salary as well. He comes in as our 6th best centre-back, 5th best left-back, according to Star Ratings. We all know how good Lewis Brown is, though, so quite happy to have him joining us. And if we just check in with FFP as well, we have got the money to go out and spend big on a salary in January. I mean, we've got 15 minutes left. We're probably not going to be able to do it now, but we've managed to get well under our FFP limit in the end. So we're going to have business to do in January. We've got 3 months now with all this money to spend. to work out where that 12 grand salary is going in January. Right, couple of changes for the Rotherham game. Tomkinson comes back in at the back because he's accepted that he's not going to get sold. We are still officially promising to sell him, and he officially is still wanting to leave, but he's accepted he's not going to be sold anytime soon because the window is closed. So he can come back in and finally start forming this partnership with Jackson. And we're also going to play Biancheri up front. Ross Stewart dropping out of the team. Ross Stewart's played well, but Jack Clayton really does deserve some game time. 4 assists from his 5 appearances so far. 2 of them have been off the bench as well. A 7.48 average rating. He is close to nailing down this right-hand side, which means Biancheri needs to have a go playing as a centre forward, or else he basically is going to become a forgotten man. So we're going to try him up front. Obviously, Stewart is still our main man when it comes to striker, but as injury prone as he is, it's important that we keep the other strikers happy and match fit, because at any moment he could fall apart, and having him play 3 games in 7 days, which is what this would be if he started this one as well, or 3 games in 8 days, I guess, probably not the best for a man with his injury record. So it doesn't hurt him to start the game on the bench. If things aren't going well for Biancheri, we can make the change. Rotherham are a team who are right up there with us early on this season. So I think were they newly relegated from the Championship? I know they've been in the Championship quite recently. I don't know if they came down this season just gone, but they're a decent side. So we need to get back to winning ways here after the disappointment of not being able to beat Spurs. It's the only time in this year's non-league legend I'll lose to Spurs. I've decided that now. That is the one and only Spurs defeat. I've also just realised you can just about see the top of my Christmas tree behind me. It's not been assembled. It's just leaning against the door. So proper Christmassy round here, isn't it? If you're watching this in February, I apologise for that very Christmassy festive moment you've just experienced. But it's still 0-0 as we head towards half-time. Very little has happened in that first half. I feel like we probably do kind of need Ross Stewart up there to be the guy that everyone else plays off of. We'll leave things as they are early on in the second half, but if we don't start to see some kind of breakthrough, I can't speak today, then Stewart, ready yourself, young man. You're going to be coming on with half an hour to go if Biancheri continues to not really do anything playing as the striker. We might move him back out onto the wing. Clayton's had an hour. He's probably the youngster who can be sacrificed here to get Stewart on, and we'll just do that as the one change for now. Ross Stewart gets half an hour. That's theoretically our first choice front 4, but we shall see. Clayton's probably going to force his way into that over the course of this season because he has looked very bright so far. We've got a lot of good youngsters here now. It's lovely to see. If you're wondering where Lewis Brown is today, by the way, he didn't have full fitness. I don't know what Tamworth had done to him, but wasn't fully fit. So he's going to have to slowly but surely force his way into contention for a starting spot. Azaz is going to come on, forcing Angerin out onto the wing, and I think we're going to bring Cherrit on the right hand side. It seems a little harsh for a guy who scores all the goals to have to go out and play on the wing, but I can't imagine Ross Stewart out there on the right hand side, so Cherrit is going to have to just play out there and like it, make the most of getting some game time. Angerin now on the left, plays it forward, looking for was that Stewart up there? I don't think that was Stewart. I'm not sure who that was he was aiming for there. I mean, the players we've got on the pitch now, it's screaming for switching to the diamond. If we concede here, right, we're switching to the diamond because obviously it worked great last year. We've got 2 strikers on the pitch and no wingers. So let's try this. Let's get him doing that. And then we'll do this. I mean, that's probably what we should have done the moment we made the substitutions. I've been a little bit sloppy there. Right, we are also going to bring on Harper there. And Sam Long is tiring. So Reece Burke is going to come on at right back. We're going very attacking. We've got to try and get us. We've won every game. So, it's been disallowed. Cancel the very attacking. Just go positive. We don't need to be very attacking, but we are still switching to the diamond because it just makes sense with the players that we've got on the pitch. I know we brought in a lot of wide players in the summer, but We've also got a lot of good midfielders, a lot of strikers still. We've got some tactical flexibility. The 4-2-3-1 wasn't getting the breakthrough. Let's give this 10 minutes to see if this does. Harper plays it forward to Stewart, who's dropped a little bit deeper because he's playing as the deeper of the two strikers now, as the target man. And now Burke on the right-hand side plays it into Azaz. Azaz plays it across to, was that Andrin? Who it looked like it had taken a deflection and gone wide, but it must have been a deflection off of a Burton player because it went behind for a goal kick. And nothing really happened. Let's offer a little bit more encouragement. I guess in the grand scheme of things, a 0-0 draw away against a team in the top 5 is a decent enough result for a team that's supposed to be finishing mid-table. But it is a little bit upsetting after the form that we were in. Tamworth have scored 5 goals today. A little bit upsetting that you've not got to see us do a win. It's very nice to see Tamworth put 5 past McDongs, though. Let's just check in on what's gone on there. McDongs 2, Tamworth 5. So they seem to be taking to this league really rather nicely as well. My boys. Good work, lads. There's a lot of players there I don't recognise. They've ruined that team in less than a year. Where are they in the league? Mid-table. I mean, if they manage to avoid relegation this year, that's a cracking result. Right, we are going to get some games under our belt now. We're 2 episodes into the season. We've only played 6 matches. We need to get well into the season now, maybe around here. So my Sheffield Wednesday and Bolton looks like 2 potentially big games. So we'll perhaps get a couple of months of matches in and come back for that double header where hopefully we'll still be in a promotion push. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.